I think the reason India as a culture, our parents never encourage us to fail. Failing means being ostracized, right? So we have a culture that only celebrates success. We do not celebrate failure. And I'm not suggesting we celebrate Rahul Gandhi, but on a serious note, we only celebrate success. And I think if we let our children to experiment and the culture allows them to fail, then that mindset of creating something, experimenting, pivoting, orbit changing, whatever you want, they'll eventually get to what they need to. And I'm reminded of a quote from the book, The Last Lecture, where Randy Pausch says that there's nothing called failure. It's all experience. He says, experience is what you get when you don't get what you want. So really, I think at a young level in schools, in families, in homes, in society, we have to let our young adults know that there's nothing called failure. Failure is part of the success equation. It is an experiment. It is an experience. I think that's the culture change that has happened in the last decade or so that has brought us. If I'd asked this question, you possibly would have said 3, 4, definitely less than 5. Today the fact that it is 7 and that matches with my own assessment is because somewhere this fear of failure is not there as much as it was there earlier, at least for the new generation. 3 weeks back we did an initiative, the Millennial and Gen X change makers. I met innovators who were from 4 years, 7 months young to 23 years. That was we had 24 speakers, and that's the one conference I sat through except for an half an hour where I stepped out for a call and I missed that half an hour. The kind of work those young adults who were 10, 12 years of average age in that room were doing tells us that the future of India is in safe hands. So I'm going to talk to you about 3 things which I believe are important for innovation. It is not an usual talk. You may say, what I've had for breakfast or I had for dinner when I prepared this. But I really believe innovation is secondary. First is you have to be empathetic to yourself, empathetic to the environment you are in, you have to be kind. So first is having a class on kindness in the schools. In kindness is about kindness in practice. Kindness is not a concept. Is being taught in some schools. Students are being exposed. Children are being exposed. And children, through the influence of internet, media, through various initiatives, are becoming more and more sensitive about sustainability. This is a cover I read of the Time magazine late last year, and it asked, what is the most important place on earth? Ironically, it's not a place on earth, it's the oceans. The shrinking oceans are making sure that we are endangering ourselves. The excreta of the large mammals, really, those of you know, these things, it really absorbs carbon dioxide. So ocean shrinking is not good. So teaching them what sustainability. I just want to say that if we teach children or sensitize children, sometimes teaching is difficult. They learn by example. They learn through doing. They learn through experiential learning, if I may use that. Teaching them these 3 things along with these softer skills of listening, because they have their phone. They have now artificial intelligence. And again, Chinmay talked, we are doing this in the era of artificial intelligence. How is it impacting us? I'll come to that. So I genuinely believe the more artificial intelligence grows, the human skills that were relevant in the 90s, that were relevant in the 20s, that were relevant in the 21st century will be even more relevant. And artificial intelligence will make progress, so it will create stuff which is unique. I won't say original, I'd say unique because it is power. But I was reading this book by a by the CEO of an AI company who was also at Google, and he's come up with something called a personal AI assistant, which is empathy. The empathy is built in by what have you done in the past. So he or it's called PI. it will paraphrase everything. So you don't need to see a shrink. You talk to your pi, it will tell you about your past behavior, it will rephrase so that you know that there is empathy, he is listening, he knows it's not that is happening. But the value of human touch or talking to a human being, we could have done this on Zoom. You shouldn't have traveled from Hyderabad, right? But the fact is, we're doing so. I genuinely believe, like in every other century, there have been fears about things, and human beings have been able to use advancement in technology to their benefit by being balanced about it, by minimizing the negative impact. I think the role of artificial intelligence in schools, in education, in learning, and especially in the business world and corporate world will only enhance what is happening. It will not diminish what is happening. And I can give you many examples. Also, artificial intelligence, by definition, is what you did in past. So for real creation, you will still need the inspiration and the perspiration and the gurus to be able to do. Yes, a lot of that will happen through a touch on the screen, but really artificial intelligence is a friend, is a guide, is a mentor, is a tool. It's not going to replace. 3 years back, EduTech was at the peak. At the peak of Corona, we all were questioning the value of campuses, of face-to-face classroom education, the value of teachers. I remember doing a session with Professor T.G. Sitaram and other leading academicians, and we talked about it, and the word was hybrid. I think we are fully back to classrooms, because there is something about the classroom and having an interaction with the professor or talking to you like this face to face, which is not there. So without going into too much, I would only say that artificial intelligence can become tools for information and knowledge. And there is a school of thought which says that in schools, teachers will do a discussion and not an instruction. That is what will happen, because the knowledge would be there. But again, that is debatable, because classrooms are about focus. They are about being in the moment. But who knows the future? I certainly don't know the future. I would like to end by saying that really the future is going to be bright. India as a country is making strides. We today on Business World ran 2 articles. How India, I don't think it's left to anybody's imagination. In the next 6 to 10 years, we'll do better than we've ever done. We will, when the Prime Minister would talk about a 10 trillion economy, some of would laugh. I think it will happen sooner than faster, sooner than later. And the other thing is about, yes, there is a dollar exchange, and that reduces the size of our GDP in dollar terms, right? But I'm sure even on that front we'll catch. As India has shown leadership in many domains, while in education in past we've learned from American schools, from European schools, the Danish schools that we used as example of learning. I think the future belongs to integrating technology, the learning of ancient Indian wisdom, and very importantly, the traditional methods of teaching are, in my view, at least in the next 5 to 10 years, are here to stay. Artificial intelligence must be taught in schools, must be used in schools, but artificial intelligence is a tool, it's not learning by itself. Thank you, God bless you, and I wish all the stakeholders that are in this room well. I want to end by saying that there are 3 H's and 3 C's that you must remember. I keep reinforcing them. If you really want to learn, you have to stay away from 3 C's. First is complaining. I think if after COVID we are healthy, alive, our families are healthy, our communities are healthy, our businesses are doing okay because they provide livelihood and impact, we shouldn't complain. Comparison, the biggest thing. Social media is about comparison. I have 10,000 likes, he has 20,000 likes. I think we shouldn't compare. Each one's journey is unique. And third is criticize. Sometimes we criticize and their people, leaders, without knowing the choices they had, without knowing their journey. So I think stay away from the 3 C's, and as I keep saying, the 3 H's that matter is hope. I genuinely wake up every day believing today will be better than yesterday, tomorrow is better than today, and give whatever I do my best. Second is hard work. Maybe I'm a little old. I genuinely believe whatever you focus on grows. Chinmay is focusing on fostering this bridge between academia and the business world and provide livelihood to students. I think because the more you focus, the more it will grow. So hard work and focus and impact go hand in hand. And third is humility. As you grow, as your impact grows, you have to be more humble. Because if you want to be innovative, the first quality that you need is humility and open mind. An open mind and humility go together. So have an humility to be able to accept ideas that you don't understand, because we don't even know what we don't know. Thank you. God bless you.
To stay informed about the startup ecosystem, subscribe to My Startup TV.